Hi guys, and happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, July 6th, and yes, I'm on vacation, and yes, I'm supposed to be in Iowa, but I had quite a few members of my immediate family test positive for COVID, so I decided, even though I really want to be with them in Iowa, with having two immunocompromised people in my immediate family, my husband and my daughter, I decided to sacrifice my time in Iowa by staying here in Illinois, and I guess it's your benefit because I'm going to do some extra card videos for you. Now, realize I had two prepared already to be released on Saturday and Sunday, and I already scheduled those earlier in the week before I found this out. So you will see those on Saturday and Sunday. They'll release at 6 a.m. Central Time. And instead of moving those up and releasing them early, I decided to do a couple more cards. So I'm going to do one today, and then I'll do one on Friday, and then you'll see those two that I pre-recorded on Saturday and Sunday. So this card, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see, it stands up on its own off of those points, but it lays flat. And this is old colors and old designer paper. I always do my examples usually in old products, just so I'm not using up or wasting any of the new products. But I'm going to show you how to do this. If you have art grid paper, you have a centering ruler. I don't know if you can see it on here. You have a centering ruler up here. Let me see if I can do that without losing my other ruler. So here you have a centering ruler on your red paper. I actually have a centering ruler that I've had for a year or two, but I've also made a little template. So if you don't have the grid paper, go ahead and I'll leave this on for a little bit so you can take screenshots, whatever. But here is what I call my centering tool. So here are your basic 1/2 inch increments going down. Flip it over. Here is your 1/4 going down. So we'll use this when we're measuring for this card. It's a fairly simple card, but just wanted to let you know, just in case. All right, so I'm going to take out and I'll leave this over here so you can see it. Have regular piece of cardstock. This is soft succulent. It is 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to score at 4 1/4 as we normally do. So here's my score at 4 1/4. And then, and I don't know now that I moved it if you can still see my ruler down here. I'm going to go ahead and line this up, and I'm going to make a mark at 2 3/4 because that is the halfway point for 5.5. 2 3/4. So let me find my little mechanical pencil. I guess I'll just have to use a regular pencil. I don't know where I put my mechanical. Oh, it's over here. All right, so here's 5.5. I'm gonna make a tiny mark at 2 3/4. All right, and I'm gonna take my cutter. I'm gonna line that up in the channel, line that fold up in the channel. Or you know what, let me get my other cutter. This is my cutter number 2. I haven't changed the blade on this one yet. So let me go get my cutter number 1 with the 1 dot. All right, so here we go. This has a brand new blade in it. So score mark and your little tick mark. Now keep these pieces because we're going to be using these. So I like laying them out right where they're at in the order that they're at. So here's my score mark. There's that. Okay, so here's what this looks like so far. I'm going to go ahead and burnish that. I like burnishing on the back side. It seems to lay flatter. All right, I probably shouldn't have done it on the cutter. There we go. See how flat that lays? All right, leaving these pieces there though. All right, then we're going to take a piece of layer. So this layer, of course, is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. So there's 5 1/4 by 4. And again, we're going to cut this in half. Let me put those, see, these are great for words later. All right, So we're going to cut these in half. So since this is 5 1/4, let's take your little guide. 5 1/4 means that it's at 2 5/8. So go down here, and here is my 2 5/8. That's going to be really hard to see. And then you're going to cut that all the way up to the corner of your card. So there's my mark. I know you probably can't see it, but I can. Get that in the channel, get the point in the channel, and cut again. All right. Now, keep these the same way. And now this is going to be your layer for here. All right, still with me, right? So now we're going to go down to our next layer, which is 5 by 3 3/4. So let me go. This really isn't directional, so I think we're fine anyway. We do it. So 5 and 3 3/4. All right. So the 5 side is very easy. Of course, your halfway mark, but I'll show it to you anyway, is 2 1/2. All right. So here we go. Make a little mark at 2 1/2. And again, I'm going to cut that from that mark up to the corner. Now, since this is designer paper, I like starting my cut already on the page. It just seems to lend a little bit better. And then you don't get like a cut edge or a ruffled edge, or whatever you want to call it. So again, here's all your pieces. All right, so let's go ahead and tape them down. Let me get my adhesive. Oh, it's over here. And let's get all these layers down. We're not going to stamp on any of these layers, so it's okay. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and erase that pencil mark here in a second. See, just a little bit of a pencil mark there. And then we're going to go ahead and put this one down. And keeping that little bit of a layer all the way around. Okay, so now on these, you can go ahead and layer these pieces. And if you don't want to do the 3 layers, if you only want to do the 2 layers, you can. But I kind of like the, oops, yes, that's right. Thought I was doing it wrong. I'm like, wait. If you wanted to flip it over, if you wanted the other side of this, of course, then you would just switch the 2 around. But I'm going to stick with the same continuity. I like lining up my edges on the straight lines. All right. Let's see. Straight lines. And, oops. Oh, that wasn't good. Tape on my, that's all right. I'm going to be putting a layer down there anyway. So let me go on my straight lines here again. All right. So here we are with our pieces. I'm also going to put, let me grab one of my layers. Let's see, what other colors? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. I'm using the Lovely in Linen. So one of my coordinating card colors is Pale Papaya. So I'm going to use that for my inside layer. So that little piece of adhesive guide on there is not a big deal. let me go ahead and layer that down. Oh, it looks pretty so far. Now, this is what you're going to do with this. Now, it depends on how you want the look to be. I mean, everybody's different. You want to make sure you have a point down here, though. That way it's going to help your card stand up, and you don't want any of these edges to go over. So you can go like that. Or you can go like this. I'm going to try it like this time, just to see. Yeah, I don't know if I like it like that. Let me see. No. I'm going to go ahead and do like this. So I'm going to make sure that these two are on the edge, and I'm going to kind of rotate that around until it gets up so that everything is on the other side. Now you can use dimensionals under here if you want. I'm sorry, not under here. Under here if you want, but you're not going to put any adhesive here. So you're going to keep adhesive on the top part of this. So you don't want to put it at the bottom, because then you will be gluing it down onto your card base, which is not good. So remember, you want your point down here, you want a point there, and I want to bring the point as close to the top here as possible. So I'm not pressing down yet. There we go. Now I'm going to press down. That might be a little low, but we'll take care of it. So again, you want your tape on the upper part here, not on that lower part. Oh, I haven't pushed it down yet. I have my two edges there. Okay, there's your crisscross. All right, so now see, here's how it's going to stand up. I know you can't see it. I can take my camera down when I get to the end, and we can do that if you want. All right, so now I am going to go ahead and let's grab some, what layer do I want to do? I think I'm going to do a layer of the soft succulent and the pale papaya. So let me get out. Look, I have a lot of scraps for these. So here's pale papaya that I'm going to stamp on, and soft succulent is going to be my layer above that. Let me see if I have a good piece of soft succulent up here that will work good for that punch. Yep, there's a good one. All right, because we're going to be using the Lovely and Lasting bundle with this punch. What I'm going to be doing here is, and then I'm going to be doing, and someone suggested this to me, I didn't think about it. Instead of cutting that part, just go like that. I'm lining this up to those 2 points and press down. So then you have that layer. Let me see though. No, I'm not sure. Because now I don't have a good, let's see, my cutter. Oh, this is a mess. Let me make another flat edge. So I can do a second one for that bottom piece. So you could punch out another full one, or you can do this. I don't know if you can see, I'm laying the cardstock right up to those points. So it's just going to do a little bit of that top and bottom. I'm going to cut this one in half. If I can find my snips. All right, I'll just cut it in half with my cutter. Oh, my snips are up here. I told you I rearranged my desk. It's very, very trying to get used to where I've put everything now after having it the other way for quite a while. All right, and now we're going to go ahead. Let me stamp first. We're using the Sweet Sorbet. We're going to use the Memento. These are both from here, and we're going to be using this little one here in a second. So I'm going to do the thank you. going to be punching that out. That nice little edge around all those areas. And now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to just put a little spot of glue right here because I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. But I'm just going to use a little spot of glue first just to get that layering. And I'm just making sure those little layers are showing. Oh, I moved that one. Probably should do a bigger layer than that. All right. Now we can go ahead and line those two corners up. And we line this up. You have a little bit of overlapping, but not so bad. Now, oops, wrong drawer. So now I'm going to use, I believe, my mini dimensionals. And then I'm going to go ahead and snip off some of that lining, the edging for a long one. All right, this is why you have your take your pick tool. And I'm going to go right over where all that busyness is. And then as a last little item, this is that little flower from the Lovely and Lasting, which is in the annual catalog. And I'm going to go ahead so there you are. Look how nicely that lays flat. And now I'm going to try to take this down and show you how it stands up. So hopefully, oh my gosh. All right. So there you see how it stands up. All right, guys. Thanks a lot and have a great Wednesday.